5 Golden Habits for Healthy Aging. Discover them now. Health in Old Age. Have you ever met someone in their 70s or 80s who seems to defy time? They move with ease, their eyes sparkle with energy, and their conversations are as sharp as ever. Meanwhile, others their age struggle, slowed by fatigue, weighed down by illness, or retreating into a world that feels smaller every day. What makes the difference? The truth is, aging doesn't have to mean fading away. You don't have to accept stiffness, brain fog, or exhaustion as your reality. In fact, research from Harvard reveals that adopting just 5 key habits can add over a decade of healthy, vibrant living while slashing your risk of heart disease, diabetes, and even cognitive decline. In this video, we'll uncover these 5 golden habits. Practical, life-changing steps that can help you stay strong, sharp, and full of joy no matter your age. Some are simple, yet shockingly overlooked. Others are so powerful that even doctors are amazed. But the last habit, the 5th one, is the real game changer. Most people don't see it coming, yet it could be the key to unlocking a life of vitality you never thought possible. So, stay with me until the end, because missing even one habit could mean missing years of health, freedom, and happiness. Now, let's begin. 1. Take regular walks. The simplest yet most powerful habit for healthy aging is something you've known how to do since childhood: walking. It requires no gym membership, no expensive equipment, and no special training, and yet it holds the power to reshape your body, refresh your mind, and even extend your life. Science backs this up. Harvard Medical School research confirms that regular walking can lower your risk of heart disease by 40%, regulate blood pressure, and strengthen your immune system. Even more impressively, studies show that seniors who walk regularly have sharper memories and a lower risk of cognitive decline. But walking isn't just about adding years to your life, it's about adding life to your years. I want you to meet George, a retired history professor in his late 70s. For most of his life, he had been a man of knowledge and deep thought, someone who could quote passages from literature and debate history with clarity. But when he lost his wife, everything changed. The once lively house became silent. The books he had cherished for decades sat untouched. The phone calls from friends were met with short, indifferent replies until eventually they stopped calling. His world became smaller, not because of his age, but because of grief and inactivity. Then, one afternoon, his granddaughter Emma knocked on his door. "Grandpa, let's go for a walk." At first he resisted. His knees hurt. He was too tired, and besides, what was the point? But Emma wouldn't take no for an answer. "Just 10 minutes, she said, pleading with the warmth only a granddaughter can bring. Unwillingly he agreed. That first walk was slow and awkward. His joints ached, his breath was short, and he felt every year of his age in his tired legs. But something happened. He noticed the world again. The crispness of the air, the golden glow of the setting sun, the distant sound of laughter from children playing. The next day Emma asked again, and again he resisted, until she reminded him, "Just 10 minutes." And so, he walked. Little by little, his steps became steadier. His heart felt lighter. His mind, once clouded with loneliness, began to clear. The walks grew longer. His neighbors, who once only saw him through the window, started waving. And then, something even more unexpected happened. He started talking again. At first, just small comments about the weather. Then about the trees, the streets, and the history of their town. Soon he was sharing memories, discussing ideas, and laughing in ways he hadn't in years. After just a few months, George wasn't the same man. His body was stronger, his mind was sharper, and his heart was alive again. He started joining a local walking group. He picked up his old books and found joy in reading again. He even began mentoring young students at the local library, sharing his wisdom and helping guide the next generation. And to think, it all started with just 10 minutes of walking. Now, imagine if he had never taken that first step. Imagine if he had let another day pass sitting in his chair. This is why walking is more than just movement. It's a lifeline. With every step you take, your heart pumps stronger, your lungs fill deeper, and your body wakes up. Your muscles become more flexible, your joints stay looser, and even your bones grow stronger, reducing the risk of falls and fractures. And let's not forget what walking does for your mind. Have you ever noticed how a simple walk clears your head? That's not just in your imagination. Walking increases blood flow to the brain. improving focus, memory, and even creativity. Research shows that people who walk daily experience lower rates of depression, anxiety, and mental fog. It's one of the simplest and most natural forms of therapy. And here's the best part. You don't have to walk miles to experience these benefits. If you already make walking part of your routine, I want to celebrate that. You are doing something truly extraordinary for both your body and soul. But if walking isn't yet a habit, don't worry, it's never too late to start. You don't need to rush into an ambitious routine or push beyond your limits. Start with just 5 minutes, a short stroll around your block, a walk to the corner store, or a lap around your home. Then, let it grow. Walk in the morning as the sun rises and the world is calm. Walk after dinner to help your digestion and ease into restful sleep. Walk with a friend, a family member, or even a pet. And most importantly, enjoy the journey. Pay attention to the rhythm of your steps, the breeze on your face, and the way your body moves. Walking isn't just about health, it's about connecting with life itself. While walking strengthens your heart, your body, and your mind, the next habit strengthens something just as important, the very fuel that powers you every single day. 2. Pay attention to your diet. The food you eat determines not just how long you live, but how well you live. It's not just about avoiding hunger, it's about fueling your body, protecting your health, and ensuring that every meal adds vitality to your life. Science proves this. Harvard researchers found that a nutrient-rich diet can add over a decade to your lifespan, while reducing the risk of heart disease, diabetes, and even cognitive decline. The National Institute on Aging also confirms that eating the right foods can lower the risk of Alzheimer's by up to 35%. And yet, many people continue to treat food as an afterthought, something convenient, fast, or easy, rather than the most powerful tool for long-term health. Let's take Frank, a strong-willed, hard-working man in his late 70s. Most of his life he ate whatever was quick and filling, bacon for breakfast, fast food for lunch, and processed meals for dinner. Food wasn't about nutrition, it was just fuel to get through the day. Then, one winter, everything changed. Frank suffered a mild stroke. It wasn't enough to take his life, but it was enough to take his independence. His hands, once steady, now shook when he tried to hold a cup. His legs, once strong, struggled to support him. At the hospital, doctors warned him. Years of eating high-sodium, high-fat processed foods had clogged his arteries, weakened his heart, and made recovery harder. They handed him a list of medications and told him he needed to change his diet immediately. But Frank was stubborn. "I've eaten this way my whole life," he grumbled. "It's too late to change now." That's when his granddaughter Lily stepped in. She refused to let him give up. One evening she made him a bowl of homemade vegetable soup. He sighed, rolled his eyes, and called it rabbit food. But after one spoonful, he was surprised. It actually tasted good. Lily makes a deal with him. "1 week," she said. "Let me cook for you for just 1 week. If you hate it, I'll stop." Frank agreed, too tired to argue. For the first few days he missed his greasy, salty meals. But soon something strange happened. His energy began to return. His hands grew steadier. The headaches that had plagued him for months disappeared. He started waking up feeling lighter, more alert, and most importantly, he started walking again. After a few months, his doctor was stunned. His blood pressure had improved, his cholesterol had dropped, and his heart was stronger. The man who once believed it's too late had proven that it's never too late to change. This is why food is more than just food. It's medicine. So what should you eat to fuel your best years? Nourish your brain. Leafy greens like kale and spinach, berries rich in antioxidants, and omega-3 rich fish like salmon help protect memory, sharpen thinking, and reduce Alzheimer's risk. Strengthen your heart. Whole grains like quinoa and oats, heart-healthy fats from avocados and olive oil, and nuts like almonds and walnuts keep your cholesterol low and arteries clear. Keep your bones strong. Calcium-rich foods like dairy, tofu, and leafy greens, along with vitamin D from eggs and fatty fish, help prevent osteoporosis and fractures. At the same time, avoid the hidden dangers that speed up aging. Processed foods and fast food, these are loaded with trans fats, excessive salt, and added sugars that cause inflammation, weight gain, and heart disease. Sugary drinks and refined carbs, sodas, white bread, and pastries cause spikes in blood sugar, increasing the risk of diabetes and obesity. Artificial ingredients and preservatives. Many packaged foods contain chemicals that may contribute to gut issues, inflammation, and chronic disease. So how do you make healthy eating easy? Start small. Swap white bread for whole grains. Replace sodas with water or herbal tea, and trade salty snacks for nuts or fruit. Cook more at home. Take control of what goes into your food so you can avoid hidden sugars, unhealthy fats, and unnecessary preservatives. Eat the rainbow. A colorful plate of vegetables, fruits, lean proteins, and whole grains means a balanced variety of nutrients for your body. And remember, healthy eating isn't about restriction, it's about abundance. Because when you start choosing foods that nourish and heal, you'll notice something incredible. More energy, better digestion, sharper thinking, stronger immunity. And just like Frank, you might wake up one day realizing that you feel better than you have in years. And speaking of feeling better, food is only part of the equation. While what you eat fuels your body, what you do with your mind fuels your future. 3. Keep your mind active. Aging is not just about keeping your body strong. It's also about keeping your mind sharp, engaged, and full of curiosity. While many people believe that cognitive decline is an inevitable part of aging, research proves otherwise. The National Institute on Aging confirms that regular mental stimulation can reduce the risk of dementia and slow cognitive decline. Meanwhile, studies from Harvard Medical School show that seniors who continuously challenge their brains through learning, problem-solving, and social engagement maintain sharper memory and faster thinking skills well into their later years. But the benefits of an active mind go beyond just preventing memory loss. Keeping your brain engaged enhances creativity, deepens emotional resilience, and even improves overall happiness. A lively, stimulated mind brings meaning and excitement to life, no matter your age. Let me introduce you to Walter, a retired journalist from Chicago. In his younger years, Walter was known for his sharp thinking, quick wit, and love for uncovering the truth. He thrived on the thrill of research, writing, and engaging in deep conversations, but when he retired at 72, something changed. At first, he enjoyed the relaxation. No more deadlines, no more stress. He spent his mornings reading the newspaper, his afternoons watching television, and his evenings reminiscing about the past. But over time, he noticed something unsettling. His thoughts didn't feel as quick as they used to. He struggled to remember small details, misplaced items more often, and found it harder to focus in conversations. One day, his grandson Ethan visited and asked for help with a history paper. Walter hesitated at first, but as he read through Ethan's notes, something inside him reawakened. He noticed gaps in logic, missing arguments, and areas that needed better research. "You're missing the why," Walter pointed out. "Facts are just bricks. You need mortar to hold them together." Ethan's eyes lit up. "Like a story?" Walter nodded, and suddenly he found himself completely engaged. They spent hours discussing history, debating ideas, and digging into research together. That night, for the first time in years, Walter felt truly alive. The next morning he pulled out a book he had always meant to read but never finished. Then another. Soon he found himself writing again. Not for work, but for his own enjoyment. He even joined an online history forum where he debated politics, shared insights, and engaged with people from around the world. And when he decided to take on a new challenge, learning Spanish, a language he had always admired, he felt his mind sharpen in ways he hadn't expected. Walter's story proves an important truth. Your brain is like a fire. If you feed it, it burns bright. If you neglect it, it dims. So how can you keep your mind active every day? First, keep learning. Reading books, listening to podcasts, watching educational documentaries, or even taking up a new hobby challenges the brain and creates new neural connections that strengthen memory and cognition. Studies show that learning a new language or skill can even delay the onset of dementia. Second, challenge yourself. Activities like crossword puzzles, chess, Sudoku, and brain games aren't just entertainment. They're mental workouts that train focus, memory, and problem-solving skills. Research from the Alzheimer's Association suggests that engaging in mentally stimulating activities can reduce the risk of cognitive decline by up to 47%. Third, stay socially engaged. Conversations are a powerful brain exercise. When you engage in deep discussions, listen to others' perspectives, and exchange ideas, your brain processes information faster and remains adaptable. In fact, studies show that people who maintain strong social connections have a significantly lower risk of developing cognitive decline compared to those who live in isolation. Fourth, embrace creativity. Whether it's writing, painting, playing music, or even gardening, creative activities stimulate multiple areas of the brain, keeping it strong and adaptable. Many seniors who engage in creative pursuits report better emotional well-being and higher life satisfaction. Finally, practice mindfulness. Meditation, journaling, or simply taking moments to reflect can reduce stress and improve mental clarity. Harvard research suggests that mindfulness not only sharpens focus but also enhances memory and emotional resilience. The best part? You don't have to do all of these at once. Start with something small. Pick up a book, solve a puzzle, have a meaningful conversation, or learn a new skill. Just like Walter rediscovered his passion for learning, you too can reignite the spark within your mind. While keeping your brain engaged strengthens your memory, creativity, and cognitive health, the next habit strengthens something just as critical: your body's ability to stay physically strong and independent. 4. Do strength training. Many people believe that losing strength is just a natural part of aging, but the truth is, you have more control over your body's strength and mobility than you think. While muscle mass naturally declines with age, research from Harvard Medical School confirms that strength training can slow, stop, and even reverse this process. In fact, studies show that seniors who engage in regular strength training experience fewer falls, stronger bones, better balance, and even improved cognitive function. The key is understanding that aging doesn't make you weak, losing muscle does. But the good news? You can rebuild it. Take Helen, an 80-year-old retired teacher who had always been independent. She loved cooking, gardening, and taking care of her home. But over the years, small things became difficult. Getting up from a chair took more effort. Carrying groceries left her winded. Then, one day, she reached for a cup on the top shelf, lost her balance, and fell. Thankfully, Helen didn't break anything, but the fall left her shaken. At her next doctor's visit, she received a warning. If she didn't start strength training, her next fall could result in a serious injury. At first she hesitated. Weight training? At her age, it seemed impossible. But then she decided to try. She started small, slight chair squats, lifting small hand weights, and simple balance exercises. The first few weeks were tough. Her legs felt shaky, her arms weak, but she kept going, and something amazing happened. Her body started changing. After a month, she could stand up from a chair without pushing off with her hands. After 2 months, she could carry her groceries without stopping to rest. And after 3 months, she could walk up the stairs without holding onto the railing. Helen wasn't just stronger, she was confident again. She had reclaimed her independence. So why is strength training so powerful? First, it protects your bones. As we age, bone density naturally declines, increasing the risk of fractures. Strength training stimulates bone growth, making them stronger and more resistant to breaks. Second, it improves balance and coordination. Weak muscles increase the risk of falls, but strength training helps keep your core, legs, and joints stable. Third, it keeps you independent. Being able to lift, carry, stand, and move freely means you can continue doing the things you love without relying on others. You don't need heavy weights or a gym membership to get started. Simple bodyweight exercises like chair squats, wall push-ups, or lifting household items can make a huge difference. It's never too late to start. If Helen could rebuild her strength at 80, imagine what's possible for you. And while keeping your body strong is crucial, there's one more factor that plays an even bigger role in long-term health: the strength of your social connections. 5. Keep your social ties strong. When people think about healthy aging, they often focus on diet, exercise, and medical care. But there's one factor that is just as critical: your social connections. Loneliness is a silent epidemic among seniors, and studies show it can be just as harmful as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Research from Harvard University confirms that people with strong social ties live longer, experience lower rates of depression, and even maintain sharper cognitive function as they age. Meanwhile, those who isolate themselves are at higher risk for heart disease, dementia, and early mortality. This is because humans are wired for connection. Our ancestors relied on strong community bonds for survival, and even today, having meaningful relationships boosts mental resilience, reduces stress, and gives life a greater sense of purpose. Let me introduce you to Margaret, an 82-year-old widow. For years, she had been the heart of her family, organizing holiday gatherings, writing letters, and keeping traditions alive. But after her husband passed and her children moved across the country, she found herself spending more and more time alone. At first, she told herself she was fine. She kept busy with small tasks, watched TV to pass the time, and convinced herself that she didn't want to bother anyone. But over time, the days blended into one another. She found herself talking less, laughing less, and feeling invisible. One day, as she sat on her front porch, she overheard laughter coming from her neighbor's house. A small group had gathered in the yard, chatting and enjoying the afternoon. Margaret longed to join, but something held her back. Then one of the women, a younger neighbor named Lisa, noticed her and waved. "Would you like to come over?" Lisa asked. Margaret hesitated, but eventually she walked over. The conversation started slow, but soon she was sharing stories, laughing, and feeling something she hadn't in a long time: belonging. That small interaction changed everything. Margaret started making a conscious effort to connect. She called old friends, joined a local book club, and even started volunteering at a community center. Within months, she felt like herself again, engaged, happy, and full of life. Margaret's story is proof that staying socially connected is not just a luxury, it's a necessity for a long, fulfilling life. So how can you build and maintain strong social ties? First, reach out. Whether it's calling a friend, visiting a neighbor, or sending a letter, small gestures of connection make a big difference. Many people hesitate because they don't want to be a burden, but the truth is, others are often just as eager to connect. Second, engage in social activities. Join a walking group, book club, senior center, or volunteer organization. Shared activities create natural opportunities for conversation and companionship. Third, embrace technology. Video calls, social media, and online groups can help you stay in touch with family and reconnect with old friends, even if they live far away. Finally, be open to new friendships. Some of the most meaningful connections happen when you least expect them. Whether it's a neighbor, a fellow traveler, or someone at your local coffee shop, every interaction has the potential to brighten your life. While eating well, staying active, and keeping your mind sharp are all essential for healthy aging, it's the people we share our lives with that make those years truly fulfilling. So what have we learned today? A long life is only meaningful if it's a fulfilling one. It's not just about the number of years, it's about making those years strong, sharp, and full of energy. Whether it's moving more, eating better, keeping your mind active, or strengthening your relationships, every small step matters. Now I want to hear from you. Which habit will you start today? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to know what resonated with you the most. And if this message inspired you, consider subscribing and turning on the notification bell. There's so much more ahead. Valuable lessons, powerful insights, and simple, yet life-changing habits that can help you live your best years with confidence and joy. Let's make the journey of aging a vibrant and empowering one. Together.